Okay, and welcome to Geek Night. Okay, for this week, okay, we're doing a anime discussion on Isekai Shokudou and Isekai Izakaya. The reason why I choose both of this is because, well, actually, the reason why uh, mm, the main reason I choose this is because Isekai Shokudou, and since Isekai Shokudou is airing right now, okay, and since I decided that since I'm going to do Isekai Shokudou, I might as well do Isekai Izakaya, since both of these, their concept and their execution is basically the same, okay, with some minor differences. So might as well do both of it at the same time, okay. So if you okay, since both of them have finished their season one, okay, so there is going to be spoilers on season one, okay. About Isekai Shokudou is airing right now, season two. Isekai Izakaya, there's not much news about it yet, okay. So now, okay, okay. So now let's go through the one by one, okay? The anime, okay? So Isekai Shokudou, okay, is a Western themed restaurant in Tokyo. It mostly serves Western food, but also includes staples of Japanese food, miso, natto, etc. Of course, rice, okay? So the thing is that Isekai Shokudou is not it's not a chain restaurant. It is just like your local restaurant, okay? That basically your mom and pop restaurant, okay? But since okay, they try to cater to more Western style food, okay? Even so, okay, they still have rice, okay, rice and stuff because if you don't know, okay, even in the Western restaurant, okay, in Japan, okay, let's say for example they have spaghetti and stuff, okay, they'll still give you a choice whether you want to take this dish with either spaghetti or with rice, okay. They'll always include that as an option, okay. And since they are also, this might sound weird to some of you, that um that they also have different flavoring, okay. So I was surprised that when I was in Japan, okay, I went to a restaurant, okay, and they have like the standard uh the standard flavoring for spaghetti like carbonara and everything. But I was surprised on the menu. There's natto spaghetti. Okay, and here comes a spoiler a little bit. Okay, in the anime. Okay, where okay, one of them, if I'm not wrong, it's the elf. Okay, he actually ate spaghetti, natto spaghetti. Okay, so yeah, the basic staples, okay, it is still there even for in real life and even in the anime, okay. Okay, so the magical thing about Isekai Shokudou is that on Saturday the door to the restaurant is connected to another world, okay. To another world where the other side of the door randomly randomly appears in various places in another world, okay. So in that same world, okay, there are many of the door to enter the restaurant, okay. So it appears randomly, okay, and it's not like, okay, let's say today it will appear in place A, okay, and it's not like next week that place A is going to be gone, okay. It's just that it's going to add in more places, okay, and we don't know how the idea of the door works, okay, because so in the anime it mentioned that, oh, the door have minds of its own, okay. So that concept have not been revealed to us yet on how the door works, okay. So yeah, okay, and this world that is connected to, it is the same world, okay, in the same isekai world, okay. It's not like multiple isekai world. It's just that it's the same isekai world where this world is inhabited by humans and Western mythical creatures like elf, dwarf, lizard man, and stuff. Okay, so Isekai Shokudou for me is that it is quite surprising the fact that that they don't include Japanese mythical creature yet, because I do understand that it is a Western themed restaurant, okay, but it is quite weird because this comes a little bit of this is a little bit of spoiler. They did talk about the geographical location of the world, okay, and then they talk about, oh, there is like a there's like a Western inspired area, and there's a like a Middle Eastern inspired area, and even a Japanese inspired area, okay. So I can't remember that much because they just really briefly go through it, okay. And the thing is since they do have this uh like different cultures and their uh in the anime, but okay, we haven't seen, like, for example, like a kirin, okay, like an oni or something like that, okay, because it should be one of its possibilities, because okay, um there's one guy, okay, the samurai guy, okay, the Tatsugoro, is that I assume that since Tatsugoro is there, he's going to the author is going to bring in like an oni, okay, because as we all know, okay, most isekai, even though they of course, isekai normally you have elf and dwarf, but okay, you should have like oni or something like that, okay, which is why it kind of like surprised me a little bit, but it is quite fun to see that in the beginning there's only one person in this shop, which is the master at the back of the picture here, okay, and these two are not humans. They are, as you can see, she have horns, and this one, she may look like an elf, but she's actually like a legendary dragon, okay. Mm. Okay, so that's a little bit explanation about Isekai Shokudou. Okay, and then next we're gonna go to Isekai Izakaya. Okay, Isekai Izakaya, okay, is an Izakaya. Okay, Izakaya is like a fusion between a pub and a restaurant. Okay, where there's counter seat and there is the normal seat with the table and stuff. Okay, but it's more Japanese oriented, just Japanese inspired. Okay, so um the thing that's made it special. Okay, like, remember the different, just now I mentioned that in Isekai Shokudou, on Saturday the door the front door, okay, from the inside of the restaurant is connect. Wait, we've never seen on Saturday that the door being open, okay, from the by the uh by by the master, okay, by the chef, okay, but which is kind of interesting, which I might want to see in the future. What will happen if he tried to open the door to and see what happened? Will it open to the other world, or will it open to the real world? Okay, yeah, never mind about that. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, so back to Isekai Izakaya. Okay, but Isekai Izakaya, the difference between that is Isekai Shokudou on Saturday. Isekai Izakaya is basically 24 hours connected to this other world. Okay, it's basically, but this one, the Isekai Izakaya, the front of the shop is actually in the other world. Okay, so it kind of boggles my mind a bit. Like, they haven't talked about that yet. Okay, they did talk about how like some kind of explanation, but I want to know more. Okay, and okay, And here, the shop is connected to another world that is currently set in the Middle Ages in an European-inspired city. Okay, mostly German because they do have okay, most of the name, okay, like Kartoffel and stuff. Okay, it is German inspired if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so yeah. The thing is about Izakaya is that most of the time, okay, Izakaya, it doesn't open all day. Normally it opens in the afternoon after office hour. Okay, so starting around 5 p.m. they'll start to open. Okay, so Izakaya, normally the people, okay, this is talking about real life Izakaya. Normally Izakaya meant for office worker who just finished their work, and then they just hang out. They'll hang out and have dinner at there, okay, with their friends. Okay, so this is where you can from time to time you will, in animes or in mangas or whatever, is that you will see that that they will go for drinking parties, okay, and drinking parties where between co-workers, okay, they will normally happen at izakaya. Okay, so they don't target the family oriented one. Okay, family oriented with kids and with kids. Okay, so next, we will go to the comparison between the both of these animes. Okay, like I said, I explained to I did mention some of it already. Okay, so let's go through it one by one. Okay, so the similarities in both of these is that both shops are in Japan and are somehow connected to both worlds. Okay, so like I say, that the Isekai Shokudou, the front door is connected. Okay. Oh, I'll leave it. I'll leave my guy here first, but later when I go to the difference, I'll move it around. Okay. Okay. So both shops are connected in Japan, and the other side is connected to the other world. Okay. The funny thing is that in Isekai Shokudou, okay, like I say, I did talk about the possibility if one of the master opened the door, okay, but it's not like the whole shop is in the other world on Saturday, okay. It's still connected, just the entrance, okay. And there's also an episode where the chef actually bring a letter to one of the staff to take some stuff from the storage. Okay, so it does show that it's connected. In other words, the electricity, the water, okay, all of it is still connected to the real world. Okay, for isekai izakaya, okay, it's like that, but the other side is permanently in the other world. Okay, but the funny thing is that since the other world is the front is connected to the other world, I wonder what happened in the real shop in Japan. Okay, is it missing? Or because if you imagine that if you imagine the izakaya, okay, since they should have the front is still in the real world, okay, but what happened if somebody in the real world try to open it? Okay, because in one episode, okay, that we know that the back door is still connected to the real Japan, okay, because Shinobu, she tried to buy some stuff, okay, to prepare something, okay. The people from the other side actually can see glimpse of it, so like lights and stuff, okay, so they saw that, okay. It shows that it's not like like they are, okay, it's not like when they see that side, okay, they see like, oh, it's just a regular alley in their city. Okay. So, and then the next similarity is that both revolves around a dish in each episode. Okay, this dish usually is like the solution for the problem that they have in that episode. Okay, so for example, let me talk about Isekai Shokudou. There is the one that reminds me is that the Alphonse, the admiral, okay, he was stuck in an island, okay, and he needed something to eat, so he asked for curry, okay, which can be done in an instant, because basically what they do is in shop is that the curry is already made, okay. What they need is just to heat it up, okay. So just stick the rice and then put curry on top, done, okay. So it can be, okay, you can serve it in literally less than a minute, okay. And so yeah, and for Isekai Izakaya, there's one of the episode that I still remember is that one of the guards, if I'm not wrong, it's the captain of the guards, he tried to he have a fear of squid. Yeah, he had a fear of squid, okay, slash octopus, okay, just in case I made some mistake, okay. So if I'm not, it is squid, okay. So then the chef, he tried to keep on making squid squid food, okay, that use squid as food, okay. So for example, so when that happened, okay, he shows that you don't need to worry about squid. Squid is just around this side, okay. But for me, I do feel like in this area that Isekai Shokudou did much better than Isekai Izakaya, because because in Isekai Shokudou, they were like, okay, this episode we're gonna focus on this particular person, okay. But for Isekai Izakaya, it's like, okay, we might throw in like 3 or 4 dishes at the same time, okay. And another similarity is that both of the chef or the owner are passionate in cooking, okay. So you can see that in the Isekai Shokudou, the owner is actually it is not under his time that the doors start to appear. It is from his grandfather, okay. So from there, okay, we saw that the grandfather, he is passionate in cooking, and now he inherited it from his grandfather. We don't know yet about the father, because they hardly focus on the owner or the staff, okay. They do have a little bit here and there, but not as much as Isekai Izakaya, okay. Which is, I don't have much complaint about it, okay, because when you watch this kind of thing, is that you are interested in the isekai part, not the you're interested in the isekai part, not the not the real person, okay. Because like I say, in Isekai Shokudou, they have lots of these mythical beings, okay, like say elf, dwarves and stuff, okay. So it is quite fun to learn that, okay. Now we're going to go to the difference, and I'm just gonna move my character around to this side for a moment, okay. So Isekai Izakaya is less fantasy based, since it doesn't involve much magic or mythical creature. Now, okay, if you might argue with me saying that, oh, this is an isekai, and the fact that this that one side is constantly connected to the other world shows that it's magic. Yes, okay, that is magical. That, okay, but the thing is, we hardly see like like spellcasters. Okay, there are like talks of folklore and stuff, but those are just talk. Okay, so and you might want to bring up the time that Shinobu prayed to to the shrine, and then like something happened, and then magically the other side is connected to the other world. Okay, that is magical, but that's like one episode or so. Okay, and like I say, this one is less fantasy based. Okay, and the second part, if you reach, okay, Shokudou usually focuses more on the client side, while Izakaya is more on the interaction between client and between the client and the staff. Okay, so Shokudou, okay, why I prefer Shokudou to Izakaya is that Shokudou will be like the whole episode will be, it's not an episode. Half of the episode is going to be based on let's say half of the episode will be based on what on this person. So for example, like we talked about Alphonse just now, right? Okay, so Alphonse, he was stranded on an island because of something happened in the sea. So basically he was stranded on that island alone for close to 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so he was there for so long. Okay, he talk about his hardships, he talks about his what he went through. Okay, and because from what I see is that the door might actually chooses its users. Okay, because I don't know before Alphonse came, okay, or he was magically drawn to that island, okay, because that island have a door. Okay, but okay, roughly almost everybody in the anime, okay, they have like they have something special or something passionate okay, the passion that they have, okay, that might open up to the possibility of them finding the door. Okay, now for the izakaya, okay, we hardly see even if there is a profile or the backstory of a person. Okay, let's say just now we talked about the commander of the guard, okay, the captain of the guards. Okay, and that happens in the shop. Okay, there is also another one about where one of the guards actually got beaten up, but that is just like, okay, that's like less than a minute when they talk about it. Okay, so I do want to know more about it. I do want them to talk about these about the clients, okay, about how do they live their life. Okay, it's like I say, this is more to a medieval setting. Okay, so in a sense that I do find that izakaya, okay, they have more interactions, but no, sometimes it's just based on talking like that. It doesn't show much. Okay, that's a little bit sad about izakaya. Okay, now next. Okay, I think I better put it back to this side. Okay. Okay. So my thoughts on Isekai Shokudou. Okay. Isekai Shokudou, they should talk more about the chef or the owner. Okay. Now, this is a major spoiler for season 1. Okay. At the end of season 1, something okay, they reveal a big important detail is that the current owner, okay, which just now that you saw the person at the back, okay, he is actually the grandson of the grandfather, who is basically the chef of the restaurant, the owner of the restaurant. But the grandma, okay, the person that the grandfather married to, is actually the hero of that world, okay, of the another world. Okay, so I was surprised to find that out, okay? And they will also talk that, can he use magic? Can he do this? Can he do that? Okay? But the thing is that we don't know much about him, okay? We don't know how he was never given the spotlight. The chef, okay, the owner is never the spotlight of the anime, okay? Which is pretty sad, but at the same time, which is why we watch Isekai Shokudou. We want to know more about the people who came to visit. In other words, the Isekai people, okay, that came to eat. Okay, so now I would want Isekai Shokudou to explain how it came to be, how how Isekai Shokudou is connected to the other world. Okay, now this part here is that we can assume that even though they didn't say this, we can assume that Isekai Shokudou came to be is when the grandmother, I see, the hero, is that after she got brought to the other world, okay. After she got brought to the other world, then the doors start to appear. But that's what we can assume. But it is not set in stone, okay? So I do wish that they talk a bit more about this, okay? Like maybe there's going to be like an episode about the grandfather came again, and then like they talk about, hey, okay, how did this restaurant came to be? How is it connected to the other side? Oh, it happened one night, this, okay, a spirit came and talked. I do want to know more. They didn't explain that, which is kind of like, I enjoy the anime, okay, all the episodes, but that question is always on my head. Hey, how did this happen? Okay, now, the next part is explanation of the doors, okay, which is also related to number 2, but it also can be a part of discussion of its own, because the doors, okay, multiple doors can exist at one time, okay. In other words, the entrance to the door, okay, from the other world side. The thing is that what would happen if two people, okay, from two different places, okay, open up the door at the same time? What would happen? Okay, this kind of like hypothetical situation, I do want to see it being answered, okay. But it can't just be like luck that, oh, only one person can open at one time, okay. And then the explanation of the door, another thing I wanted to explain is that is that whenever we see that the person that entered the door, okay, the person that entered the door, and then when they went out, okay, in other words, they finished eating and everything, they close the door disappears. So in other words, the next week it will come, okay. But what if okay, let's say we do know that okay, I'm gonna skip to the last one, okay, episode based on Tatsugoro. We do know about Tatsugoro. He's a wandering samurai, okay. He's a wandering samurai, and the fact is that even though he's wandering, he moves around place to place, okay. How can he find these doors? Okay, how can he find these doors? Does he have like a sensor? Does he have like Dragon Ball? If you remember Dragon Ball, that to find Dragon Balls, Bulma created a radar sort. So I do want to see that because every single episode we can see Tatsugoro is there. Okay? Almost every single episode, Tatsugoro is there eating his, having fun eating and stuff. So which is why I want to know a little bit more about that. Okay, how can you find it? Okay, so now this is what I want to link back to the point I made just now, is that since Tatsugoro move around, okay, so what if he, let's say, he enters this door that oh yeah, about Alphonse, and there's another the guy from the duchy, okay, he's basically the lord or something like that in the area, okay. So we do know that Alphonse is searching for the door when he get back to his country. The problem is when he get back to his country, okay, he doesn't know where else can he find a door. So I assume that the door that he enters this time is the same door as that duchy guy, okay, the lord, okay. So the thing is, when let's say Alphonse enter first, okay, and then he leave, okay. So in other words, when he leave, will the door disappear? Because remember, that is what happened in several of the cases where, for example, like the treasure hunter, okay, the treasure hunter. I forgot her name, okay. So when she left the restaurant in the first episode, okay, she look at it. Oh, the door magically disappears. So now what will happen is Alphonse came early and he left early. Will the Lord, okay, the Duchy Lord, will he be able to enter? Okay, that's why they didn't explain this much, okay, because of course this is a fantasy story. It's not real, but I do want the world to be more fleshed out, okay. So yeah, okay. And the next thing is I want to learn more about the otherworld lore, okay? So the lore of it is that they talk about, the grandmother, she slain the Demon King or something like that, and with the last breath of the Demon King banished her to another world, okay? Which is bad thing since she lived a happy life, okay? And she's a grandmother now and stuff, okay? So about uh, about the lore, okay, we do know that there are different dragons that have extremely powerful they have extreme power, okay. The Kuro just now that we saw in the picture that I've used, okay, she's actually the dark dragon, okay. I do wish that we can meet this the next couple of dragon in this season, okay, maybe one or two. It would be fun to see if like all the dragons are there and then they start to fight. And can you imagine like the heroes, the sage Artorias, and then his friend, the elf guy, okay. What would happen if both of them is like, oh my god, we are heroes but we can't do anything because there are 4 or 5 of these dragons around here, and then like everybody's like, can you imagine the Lionel, the lion guy, to be like, can you give me Katsudo, please? Like, it would be very funny because these people, they can sense how dangerous they are, okay. So I would like to see that happen, okay, how the client react when all the dragons are there, okay. So now next is I want to know if do anyone else in the real world know about this, since we can assume that that the door had been established for generation, okay. So maybe 2-3 decades at least, something like that. So do anybody in the real world know, okay, because since before this, the master, he worked alone, okay, and he was only introduced because the grandfather trusted him, okay. So I assume that in the beginning, that when the grandfather is the chef, okay, of course the grandmother is maybe the grandmother is there. Maybe the grandmother is there working together, in the kitchen and stuff. Okay. So yeah, I do want to know if anybody in the real world know about this, okay? Because it won't be surprised. It won't be a surprise because the restaurant is closed on Saturday in the real world, okay? But in fact, that Saturday is the other world. Since it connected to other world, maybe this restaurant is closed on Saturday, okay? So that's why nobody care much about it on Saturday. So it could have been a possibility, but I do want to see like the chef bringing somebody to the from the real world into the story. Okay, it might be fun. Okay, for to see that happen. Okay, now that's all. That's all my Isekai Shokudou. Next is my thoughts on Isekai Izakaya. Okay, now Isekai Izakaya. Okay, instead of feeling more of it, well, it is an Isekai. Okay, but I do get a feeling of it's more like a restaurant version of Gate Jietai Kanu Shinite Kaku Tatakai. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. Maybe I should do Gate next week. I'm not sure whether I should. Okay, I think I'm gonna do Gate next week. Okay, because since I mentioned it, okay, I do want people, because Gate is quite a fun anime. Okay, so for those that don't know what is Gate, okay, Gate is an anime about basically an isekai anime, but it's not like one person is teleported. It's that the gate in this area is connected to the other world. Okay, it's not like a small, it's not like a small door, but like a temple, a shrine or something like that. Okay, so and then the other world is without doubt in the medieval age, okay, and they do have magic. Okay, so forget about the magic part. You take out the magic part, you get Isekai Izakaya, the restaurant version without the magic. Okay, that is Isekai Izakaya. You know why I say this? Because for Gate, one of the most memorable scene is that in Gate there is a scene where these people want to fight against the Japanese, okay, that have tanks and stuff. Okay, so for them to actually wanted to fight with them, okay, they are holding their big shields trying to block any arrow. But the thing is, they don't use arrows. They basically have machine guns, scale rifles and stuff. Okay, so when those people start to shoot with their guns, okay, you can see like those shields get pierced like butter. Okay, and it's like to show how the advancement in technology. Okay, this does come in play for Isekai Shokudou too, but not as much as Isekai Izakaya, because Isekai Shokudou, they focus since they have magic and they do use magic, so that kind of like how should I say, mitigate that feeling. But for Isekai Izakaya, there's not much magic, and you can see that they talk about they are the most memorable part about like the difference in technology is that there's one episode where there's Isekai Izakaya, a spy actually went inside. Okay, it's not like that he came and like tried to steal or whatever. It's just that he came in as a regular customer, but at the same time he wants to see the what kind of thing that they have. Okay, so I know they are using the Isekai Izakaya as like they want to use Isekai Izakaya as the place for them to collect their information. Okay, so he was surprised that for example, pepper is freely given. Okay, and in that world, pepper is considered as gold. Okay, which is in real life it is true, because in some point, okay, before, the reason why the European try to conquer the world is because basically they want to control the spice. Okay, so that from there we can it's subtle, but it still talks about the advancement in technology. Okay, now, okay, so that's what I mean by restaurant. They don't isekai izakaya, it doesn't feel like a magical experience, but more like to show off the advancement in our technology, which is quite a bit sad, but okay. But I do feel like they can improve the execution a little bit. Okay. Now the next thing is that the world building is lacking. Now, since Isekai Shokudou, they have doors, okay? So they have people coming from all part of the world, okay? In the another world, okay? So you can like, oh, in the land of the sands, basically the Middle East inspired country, they talk about, oh, they need to use magic. Okay, so from there we do learn a bit about the world building there. But for Isekai Izakaya, they are only located in one city. So in other words, the Izakaya doesn't move, and okay, that we don't know much about this world. Okay, we do know that it's a German inspired city. Okay, because the name. Okay, they always use the name of the food. Okay, it's one of the biggest giveaway. But okay, we don't know like okay, since the restaurant is not going to move, why don't they why don't they like bringing in like is the izakaya into like a political strife between it. Okay, not just like indirectly. Okay, because there is an episode where izakaya is threatened by the fact that with the alcohol they serve is basically like being prohibited because the city placed a ban on ale or something like that. Okay, I don't remember exactly, but okay, it's not like the the owner and the staff is going to be locked up. Okay, if they got locked up, okay, then it might be a little bit more interesting, because if they got locked up, okay, there's literal repercussion for them being in this other world. So yeah, the world building is a bit lacking here. Okay, now the next part is my biggest gripe with Isekai Izakaya. It is the fact that the reality of constantly having one side connected to the other world. Now, the thing is that since, like I did mention this earlier on, that the front of the shop, they have a physical front of the shop in that city. Okay, so it's not like Isekai Shokudou where it's only a door. Okay, so it's that if there's a physical version of the front in the other world, what happened to the in the real in Japan? Okay, does the front magically disappear? Okay, what will happen if somebody in the real world try to enter the front? Okay, the front door. Okay, so that kind of thing surprises me that is not brought up. Okay, and if that were to happen, okay, even if that were to happen, okay, what about like health inspections? Okay, so without a doubt, they should have been registered. The izakaya should have been registered in the real world. Okay, because okay, here comes another problem. Okay, it's hard for me to talk about that without talking about the biggest problem of this, which is the cost of managing izakaya. Since all their clientele is basically all from the other world, how are they going to make money? Okay, even if they do make, okay, of course they need to pay for it. Okay, how can they use that money in the real Japan? Okay, which is kind of like blows my mind. How can they, since as far as we know, the whole the whole time, okay, they bought food basically from the real world. And if they can exchange the money, that they got from the other world to Japanese yen, how are they going to stay afloat? Okay, now for Isekai Shokudou, this problem does come out a bit, but you can balance it out saying that, oh, this is only once a week. Okay, so from that I can understand. Okay, but still for Isekai Shokudou, they should explain that. Okay, they did mention like something like one of the merchants, he brought in the, like, for example, fruits and vegetables for him to as some sort of payment, but that payment is not meant to be used for the shop. Okay, so which is why it is really unimaginable for Isekai Izakaya to stay afloat if they cannot exchange the money they get from these people. Okay, they can't buy their food. Okay, they can't buy their food. They can't even manage the restaurant. Okay, I'm that question. Even though in Isekai Shokudou, okay, there are a few questions that bothers me, but Izakaya take it to another level. So like, even though it's fantasy, there's a level of reality that you should keep up. Okay, which is that these people, they don't they don't keep it up, and it's quite frustrating to see that they can't. Once you realize this, you will not be satisfied until you get to the bottom of this, which is why this is my biggest gripe with it. Okay, the reality of constantly having one side connected to the other world. Okay, so yeah, I do wish that this problem is quickly addressed. Okay, I watched through the whole season, and then, like, without doubt, the biggest episode that stand out is when the god, okay, when the god came and like paid them back with Japanese yen, okay, with the money that Shinobu put in the donation box. Okay, so that is one thing, but we don't have much explanation based on that. Other than that, okay, so yeah, okay, Isekai Izakaya is pretty. It's not realistic. Well, Shokudou is not realistic, but at least it's a fun it's a fun thing to ponder on. Okay, like, hey, what happened if it's connected? But since Isekai Izakaya is like taking it to a whole new level, I can't enjoy it without keeping having that question on my head. Okay. Oh yeah, before I forget, Isekai Izakaya, another difference that they have with Isekai Shokudou, okay, is that Isekai Izakaya, it is only around 15-16 minutes. Okay, basically like 15-16 minutes long. Okay, even with that, after 10 minutes or so, that they'll have like this like real world people talking about, okay, if found out there are two people. One is like like a cook. Okay, he will try to explain the dish that they talk about. Okay, the dish that they talk about, and then he try to show how to make it and stuff. Okay, and the other is like the guy who uses it to show off things in Tokyo. Okay, so okay, with that, even though Isekai Izakaya have have more episodes, but basically the amount of the amount of real anime is basically like half an episode. Okay, so I don't really find their the real world explanation, okay, like how to make it, okay, talk about different tourist spots, okay. I don't find it interesting. Okay, because if they do it like a cooking show, okay, they should quickly do it like first you need the ingredients, okay, they give you the ingredients, it's just like a normal cooking show, okay, then like for those who are interested in making it, they can make it. But the tourist spot is that in the anime, in the manga, okay. Oh yeah, Isekai Izakaya is based on manga. Isekai Shokudou is based on a light novel, okay. So the Isekai Izakaya is that if these people want to link it to if they want to link it to the real world places, okay, Isekai Izakaya should bring it up, okay. Like for example, it's like for example, like Nobu will actually say, oh, I've learned how to make this dish when I was working part-time when I was in high school, okay. So in this shop in Asakusa, something like that, okay. So since he didn't mention, and then since this guy randomly brought out that place, you don't feel the connection, okay. So it's like you want to drop random facts, but that information have nothing to do with the anime that we have just watched. It's just like, oh, you are trying to shoot in this, okay, because it do feel forced when you watched it, okay. So which is why whenever the anime finish, whenever the real work start to come up, I basically skip on to the next episode because I don't see the relation much. Okay, now now I'm just gonna go back a bit to Isekai Shokudou. That I did mention that we don't have much information about the owner or the chef. Is that like they did have a couple of time where this is just a brief mention. Okay, like, oh, when I was in college, I worked at a cafe, and that is when he talks about he learned how to make parfait and stuff, okay, and crepe maybe. So they give information on him, but just at a bare minimum. Okay, I love Isekai Shokudou concept and the execution. Okay, just that I feel like they're leaving the best for last, okay, because if you focus on the client and their adventures and how they live their lives, okay, it is more interesting without a doubt, okay. If they only keep on talking about the chef, then I get bored, okay. But you need to have a balance between that, okay. They try to balance it with the staff, but still the biggest problem is that the big elephant in the room is that nobody is talking about, hey, my grandma is the hero of the world, okay. And when they drop it on the last episode of season 1, I was like, wait, you brought this up just like that, like on the last episode? Oh my god, it blows my mind. Okay, so yeah, okay. So without a doubt, okay, if you like Isekai Izakaya, you'll definitely love Isekai Shokudou. If you love Isekai Shokudou, you might find Isekai Izakaya interesting, okay. So that concludes on our Geek Night discussion on Isekai Shokudou and Isekai Izakaya, okay. Now like I say, there's a lot of things that Isekai Izakaya can improve, okay. I'm not saying that they have to copy exactly the Isekai Shokudou, but those things should be improved because I can't overlook it, okay. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, now I'm going to show you my plan for this week, okay. So as you know, yesterday I did not have any stream because I was like, I'm getting ready for the big thing this weekend, okay. So as you know, okay, Isekai Shokudou, we're doing it now, and tomorrow and Thursday I'm going to be rested here, and Friday I want to rest a bit, okay? Because it's not something that I'm resting, it's that I'm preparing myself for Tsujiro-san, okay? Saturday, Sunday, we are going to have our first novel night where I'm going to play Tsujiro-san no Jun Airodo, okay? Is that here I'm trying to practice I'm trying to practice translate, okay, commentating, translating, and okay, in a okay, I'm trying to commentating and translating a visual novel, okay, and at the same time, so it's a bit hard. I did try yesterday, and it's quite hard, okay. So I think I do need to establish some ground rules, okay. I'll prepare about, okay, the explanation of what is a novel night, okay, what is and what are the rules for the novel night, okay. So that will be my the thing that I need to explain, okay. So yeah, so Tsujiro-san is a bit okay. The reason why I choose Tsujiro-san is that Tsujiro-san is basically like one of my first around the time that I've learned Japanese. Tsujiro-san is my first visual novel that I played fully in Japanese, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, if it's not the first fully game that I played in Japanese, it is one of the first new releases that I've played. Okay, since right after I finished my basic Japanese course in university, Tsujiro-san came out. So I did have okay, I can see like discussion online that about Tsujiro-san. Okay, even though most of it is in Japanese, and like I'm like I say, I just finished my basic Japanese, so I can't join in, but like I can read and translate on Google Translate and stuff. So you do feel you feel like, oh, I'm part of the group. You don't feel like the FOMO, okay, fear of missing out, because you are there, okay. But just that since I can't type in Japanese that well yet, so I can't join the discussion. So Tsujiro-san, without a doubt, have a special place in my heart for that. Not only that, is that one of the scene, even to if you play Tsujiro-san, you know which scene I'm talking about, okay? That scene, even until today, for me, is the best confession scenes that I've ever played. Okay, it is so good that I wanted to show you, but I can only play the trial version. Okay, because I can play the real version. Okay, the full game, but I want to respect the company, because visual novels are not games. They are more close to a book. Okay, you can imagine a book, choose your own adventure book. Okay, so if I played everything, then it's going to be sad for the company, because they can't monetize that. Okay, well, actually they can monetize my videos, but I want to have a good relationship with with the visual novel companies. Okay, okay, so I will on Saturday I'll have Tsujiro-san, but I will establish some ground rules, okay, and what is novel night about. Okay, so before Tsujiro-san starts, I will have to lay it down. Okay, so yeah, so on Saturday is our Tsujiro-san no Jun Airodo. So if you're interested, you can come and join. Okay, I'll do my best, okay, since it is my first time, live commentating, live translating it. So it might feel a bit, okay. So whether you know Tsujiro-san, or you just wanted to learn more about it, okay, you can just hop by. Okay, so I do hope that you can check it out. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today. Okay, actually after this I'm gonna play a bit of Tsujiro-san and like train myself to translate. Okay, so without a doubt, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm playing Restatia, okay, but I don't think I'm gonna play for long, okay, because like I say, I really want to make the first novel night a success, okay? Because from what I've gone through, the Tsujiro-san trial version only have 2 to 3 hours, but with me translating, it's probably gonna take more than that. Okay, so which is why I'm going to split it up into 2. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow when I'll be playing Reciteer. Okay, so that's it.